No sense of sound. No smell of air. Breathless. I drifted among faceless shapes, without a clear distinction of form. Blinded. Until someone or something made me soar. Higher and higher still I went. That is all I can remember.
I don't believe you. Now sit down. I'm sorry, but you can't leave until you tell me. Where are you from? And what is it that you seek in the colonies?
I was born in the colonies, and I was hoping to find a home here. But so far, the welcome has been somewhat lukewarm.
Do you or do you not swear allegiance to the Lord Protector as a servant of his protectorate?
Yes, I am a servant of the Protectorate. Aren't you?
The protectorate does not own us. The colonies may be inside her sphere of influence, but its people are not. You, on the other hand, were wearing their uniform. The bright blue fabric, the golden stitching. It tells me that you are part of the crew on one of their ships, probably a merchant vessel. The embroidery even says that you are the captain of that ship. Impressive. But what happened to your ship, Captain?
I can't remember?
I've heard that excuse before. It's not going to work with me.
First, tell me who you are.
I am the Rani, and you can address me as such. Now, is this journal yours?
Where did you get that? Who gave that to you?
It says Devon Rensburg inside. Is that you?
All right, I'm Devon Rensburg. And yes, that is mine.
I already know it's yours. I'll give it back to you, once you've enlightened me on its contents. Now read it for me. And remember, I expect the truth. Again, where are you from? And what is it that you seek in the colonies?
Fine, I'll give you the long version. It's not like I have any choice. I come from the West, born here in the colonies, but raised in the capital of the Protectorate's homeland, a city that never felt like home. I never connected with its people. I was always the outsider. So I decided to leave that place, in search of my roots. I had heard about someone in the harbour recruiting men for a merchant ship sailing to the east. It was a standard trading mission along the Indigo route. I had never worked on a ship before, but enlisting in the merchant navy was the only way for me to acquire passage across the sea. So that's what I did. The recruiter, Aaron Ludlow was his name, took me in a rowing boat out of the harbour, and there she was, his lordship's vessel, Herald.
By God, Ludlow, have you read this?
No, sir, I haven't.
Your people seem to be causing a lot of unrest in the colonies lately.
My people, sir?
Well, you know.
I don't know, sir.
The indigo farmers, they claim the trade does not benefit them enough. They accuse the Lord Protector of abuse of power and demand fairer wages. The local regent has yet to respond, but I fear he will cave in to the pressure.
Is that why we have the politician on board?
Yes. Senator Morton is the regent's brother-in-law, and he's going to help him with the complex politics of this affair. He's also accompanying the regent's daughter safely back to the colonies. Remember to treat both of them with respect.
Sir.
Is there anything else you brought from shore?
Well, apart from the new recruit, a letter, sir, addressed to Senator Morton.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give it to me.
But, sir, it's not your...
My ship, my rules, Ludlow. You know this. Besides, I don't think Mr. Morton has anything to hide from me. He better not.
May I remind you he is a Protectorate official, sir?
And so am I. You there, what do you think, boy? Should I open the letter or not?
Me? Sorry, sir, I didn't...
This is Devon, sir, the new recruit that I picked up in the harbour. Says he wants to work as a sailor aboard the Herald.
Devon Rensburg, sir. But I prefer people to just call me Devon.
Captain Cornelius Hendricks, nice to have you aboard the Herald. Rensburg, I assume you understand that there are rules here. Officer Ludlow will give you the lowdown on them during your tour of the ship.
Sir, I have other...
But first, Ludlow, I'd like you to find Senator Morton and send him here. I need to talk to him about this letter of his. Be quick about it. I'll send Rensburg after you in a moment.
Yes, sir. Be sure to see me on deck, Devon.
So then, Rensburg, I take it you must be returning home to your family?
I'm a Protectorate citizen. My home is in the capital. But it's time that I see my country of birth, and hopefully find out who the people were that gave me up for adoption. I know my father is a Protectorian, and my mother is originally from the colonies. It won't be easy to find them. That's why I'm writing everything that might help me with my search down in my journal.
Yes. Yes, I see. Well, you should look at my globe then, Rensburg. As you see, the colonies are very big. You should write it in your journal. Well, off you go to your tour of the ship. Have a nice evening.
There was a globe in the room. The ornate rooster on top stretched his wings out over the world, as if protecting it. The paper stand on the captain's desk was filled with letters stamped with a protectorate seal. Cornelis Hendricks seemed to be an important man. The captain's newspaper lay open on his desk. Colony unrest, it said. The rest was too difficult to read from a distance. The captain's cabin was one of the few places on the ship with a heater. The crew didn't have such luxuries at all. The captain's cabin was one of the few... Looking at the display cabinet, I wondered what his collection of exotic and antique weapons said about the captain's character.
Oh, well, I would assume he's reading your letter right now, Mr. Morton.
I sincerely hope you're joking.
No, on the contrary, sir. At sea, the captain makes his own rules. As far as I can tell, our captain is king on the Herald, sir. The crew his loyal subjects.
Officer, there are several reasons why the people got rid of the king back in the day. This is precisely the sort of thing that led us to abolish the monarchy. I'm going to have a word with Captain Hendricks now. Please carry on.
I was quite often tempted to take over the wheel and sail us on a random course towards adventure, but that wouldn't have been a smart move. Not one, but two large ornate compasses stood on the poop deck near the ship's wheel. Protectorate design seems to favor perfect symmetry.
That, Devon, was Senator Lewis Morton. Did you see the look on his face when I told him the captain opened his letter? Pure agony. He would have found out sooner or later anyway. People have a hard time adjusting to life outside the capital. On the open sea, the rules tend to change, but customs don't change with them. Mr. Morton is a prime example of that, and you will probably experience the same. The trick, though, is to accept change. It's something that people like Morton will never understand. But you might.
What makes you believe I will?
There's a reason I picked you from the lot. I rarely choose anybody who is unfit for a life at sea. Now for your tour. Welcome aboard His Lordship's vessel, Herald. A Cromwellian-class Protectorate clipper launched in 1851. As one of the fastest sailing ships in the mercantile fleet, she can reach a top speed of 18 knots. During her short life, she has already set multiple records sailing to the colonies and back along the famous Indigo route.
What records did she break?
Several speed records, of which the most important one was the race against the DeWitt-class clipper HLV Crowing. The Herald beat her by 3 days on a return voyage from the colonies to the capital. She set a record time of 78 days, 5 hours, and 16 minutes. Now let's move on to the deckhouse.
So many lines and ropes that were going literally everywhere. I still can't comprehend how most sailors I met on the Herald knew the function and name of all of them. The bilge pump on the weather deck was used every day. Even in good weather, some water tends to end up below decks. Looking through the grate, I could see the gun deck below. As strapping as sailors come, even they can't lift most cargo without the use of a dolly winch. Taking a short break to get water from the scuttlebutt was usually just an excuse to congregate with fellow sailors. I was wise enough not to stretch this privilege, not wanting the captain getting cranky with me. The capstan is a rotating device that is used to apply force to ropes, cables, and hawsers. But I've heard that some captains tie disobedient sailors to it, with their arms and legs spread across the levers.
The Cromwellian-class ship type is named after one of the Protectorate's founding fathers, Oliver Cromwell. These ships are merchant clippers, built with trade in mind. Making money is their sole purpose. The Herald is an indigo clipper, which means she mainly takes shipments of indigo powder to the Protectorate homeland. With this powder, we make the paint that coats the hulls of our ships, and the dye that gives the fabric of our clothes its bright blue hue.
I don't really get it. Why is blue paint so important?
You've lived in the capital, Devon. Never noticed the rooftops of its buildings or the clothes of its people? Everything has been colored blue there. The color blue touches on much that the Protectorate holds dear. And indigo is made from a plant that produces the only known blue dye that withstands heavy wear. Until anybody finds a cheaper substitute, the indigo trade remains an invaluable part of our economy.
I never really thought about blue dye in that way. Sounds like a huge undertaking.
It is, but that's not without reason. After all, the Protectorate is built upon free market principles that foster progress through supply and demand. Its people get paid an equal share for the work they do, and with this money they are free to do with as they wish. I am not fond of life on shore, but even I can see that the system works. For most people, at least. Now, onto the bow of the ship.
The lifeboats of the Herald had a capacity of 12 persons per boat. This was just enough to carry all the crew and passengers that were currently on board.
We are standing on the weather deck right now, where you will work every day ensuring the safe passage to the colonies. You will be tasked with tying the knots, reefing the sails, and swabbing the decks. There will be no talking to first-class passengers, no idling around the ship at night, no begging, no fighting, no stealing, and most of all, don't get caught trespassing. Now that sounds like a lot for you to worry about, right?
I'll manage.
That's what I thought. Don't worry, it'll get tedious soon enough. Keep in mind that the dining saloon in the deckhouse is only for first-class passengers and officers during this trip. This was a special request by Senator Morton, so please steer clear from the saloon if you want to keep out of trouble. Anyone without a blue coat should just use the service stairs through this door here. Now, is there anything in particular you would like to know?
What if I wanted a blue coat? Where do I get one?
You'll have to earn one. The captain is an honest man. He'll reward hard work. But don't expect him to promote you anytime soon. It took me years before I earned mine. Now just go through this door, past the officers' cabins, and you'll find the service stairs on your right-hand side. Down those stairs, you'll find the crew's quarters and your bed. That concludes the tour, Devon. I hope you enjoyed it. I will have to stay out here. I'm on watch tonight.
The bosun will wake you up tomorrow morning to prepare you for the day.
Good night.
But I don't want to. And take this thing back.
But Ian, it's a gift.
I don't need it. I don't need any of this.
Get out.
I didn't mean to.
Get out.
I wondered if everything was all right inside. I was quite surprised to find a flag in the drawer. I'm sure it would not have pleased the Lord Protector to see our symbol of power tucked away in a nightstand. The barrels were filled with rum. I wouldn't be surprised if they were placed there on special request. It was getting late. I had to go to bed. A risque pin-up poster hung tucked between two opposing walls. It tried to sell the colonies on some sort of exotic fantasy. I have to admit that its delusions were once mine.
I know you are out there, and even though Mother taught me to address you properly, I know your language is different from ours. Please, hear my prayer. Listen to my heart. I'm begging you to just help me this one time. I want you to see my struggle with the life you chose for me. I feel trapped, and I see no way out. You are the only one I can turn to. Please, tell me what to do. Give me a sign.
Boxes, big and small, were everywhere on the Herald. I wondered what was inside the one on the table, but I didn't dare to open it. The playing cards, strewn everywhere, seemed to indicate that the sailors liked to play games. I preferred to write in my journal, rather than occupying myself with such silly things. On the table stood an open bottle of wine, and there it remained for the rest of the voyage. Maybe I should have taken it to the galley to be used as vinegar. The apples reminded me of home. Looking out of the window of my small room, I used to dream about this journey while staring at the fruit trees in the garden. Few people on land know about the strict rules in the Navy. Being a sailor requires discipline and a great deal of respect for authority. I'll admit I did consider trying on the blue coat, but the chance of someone noticing was too high. It was getting late. I had to go to bed.
All hands on deck. The sun is out and breakfast is served on the gun deck. You too, boy. Ian!
Oh, I'm not well, sir. It's probably the food from last night. I don't really feel like eating anything right now.
Oh, really? Well, I don't trust Andra's bangers and mash either, but you won't make me believe that they made you sick. That would be way too convenient for you.
I'm not lying, Caleb. My stomach tells me that something's wrong.
That's Mr. Haywood to you, boy. And I know exactly what you're thinking. You heard that Ludlow was sick this morning, so you're trying to blame it on the food. Nice try, boy. Now get up and start running.
No, I won't. You can't force me. I'm going on strike.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, kid. You wouldn't last a day.
Is Ludlow really sick? What does he have? He looked fine yesterday.
He looked kind of pale when he went to bed last night. Probably seasick or something. You the new guy. Rensburg, ain't it?
I'm Haywood, the bosun on this here ship.
You should report to Officer Brunswick at the helm. Needs his boy to do an errand for him. But since this wretch won't get out of bed, maybe you ought to do it. You up for that?
No problem, Haywood. I'll get right to it.
Just follow the instructions Officer Brunswick gives you. Now, off to the helm with you.
All day long you could hear the chickens cackle. Though the meat was reserved for friends of the captain, their eggs were a special treat for the crew at weekends. There was one particular corner on the main deck where the captain couldn't see you from the poop or front deck. Littered with boxes, barrels and sacks, it provided cover for those in a bit of a lazy mood. A brass sign forbade anyone but passengers and officers to enter the deckhouse. It appeared to have been placed quite recently. The Herald was equipped with many life belts. This relatively new invention can save people that have fallen into the ocean from drowning. However, if you get swept away by the current, even a life belt won't help.
I don't need them, Captain. We need to head southwest by west for most of the day, and then turn west by 15 degrees around sunset. Might I suggest we raise the studding sails to maximize our speed?
I still want to see them, Rupert. Where is that boy of yours? Get him to fetch the maps.
I haven't seen him this morning. It's possible that he's still...
Ah, good morning, Rensburg. Nice to see you up and running. Rupert, have you made the acquaintance of Devon Rensburg yet? He's our new sailor.
No, I haven't, sir. Rupert Brunswick, First Officer and Navigator. Nice to meet you.
Good. Now, Rensburg, have you by any chance seen a boy named Ian this morning?
He is ill, Captain. Not feeling well at all, he said. So I'm taking his place for today.
When is that boy going to step up his game, Rupert? He's your student. Discipline him, or I will.
I heard that more of the crew are sick today. It could very well be that they're all sick for the same reason.
Nonsense. The boy is weak. He needs to be dealt with swiftly, lest he never become a man.
I agree that Ian might be a bit weak, frail even. But a man with his gentleness is something the world might benefit from one day.
Some say you're soft, officer. But I appreciate your honesty. There is no denying that it has got you quite far in life.
Please, just leave the boy for a day. I'm sure Rensburg will do fine in his stead. Right, Rensburg?
I'll do my best, sir. What should I do first?
The captain would like to see my maps. Since Ian's not here, I'd like you to fetch them for me. My map of the European coast should be somewhere in my desk. I'll tell you a secret. I keep a spare key to my cabin in the picture in the officer's hallway.
I'm seasick again. Yeah.
The picture contained a spare key to Officer Brunswick's cabin. One of the paintings on Brunswick's wall was a depiction of the Battle of the final battle of the Anglo-Dutch War. A painting of the night sky was hanging on the wall. The use of colours was striking. One of the paintings depicted 3 white boys playing with a ball in a sunlit square. On the top shelf stood a portrait of a stern-looking man. I later learned it was Brunswick's mother. The entire bookcase was devoted to poetry. Among them were some of the most famous works by Shakespeare, Byron, and Poe. I was surprised to find Brunswick's spyglass in here. You'd think a navigator would keep that with him at all times. A beautiful brass sextant was sitting on Brunswick's writing slope. I recall a teacher telling me how this complex device works, but I'll be damned if I can remember. Looking through the Merchant Navy's handbook, I discovered that officers are usually allowed to carry guns, but other members of the crew are not. A small collection of astronomy books betrayed Brunswick's fascination with the celestial bodies. Maybe this was the secret to his success as a navigator. I got the sudden urge to write something obscene in one of Brunswick's books. I realized that this was an incredibly stupid idea. I found Brunswick's maps of the European coast inside the... A broken compass lay shattered inside Brunswick's desk. It was a shame to see such a delicate object destroyed. Looking through the Merchant Navy's handbook, on the writing slope lay a detailed map of the African coast, the sea full of lines, markings and notes I didn't understand. I found Brunswick's...
What took you so long? Were you lost? My cabin isn't that big, you know.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll ensure that I'm faster next time.
Ian would have done such a simple task in mere seconds.
Give me the maps, Ransberg. Well, that's convenient. According to these calculations, raising the studding sails might double our speed. Ransberg, find Boatswain Haywood and ask him where he keeps his studding sails. He's probably somewhere near his workshop.
The captain's cabin was strictly...
Look, Uncle! Water as far as the eye can see. Imagine how big the world must be.
Yes, dear.
Looking through the grate, it was a peculiar place for a sink. I suspect it didn't fit in the officers' cabins. God forbid.
You again? So how does your new job suit you, huh?
I'm doing fine. It's not the best work, but it's not that hard either.
Well, of course they wouldn't trust you with hard work like mine. Now would they? So, what do you want?
I'm looking for studding sails. Any idea what those are?
Of course I do. I'm the bosun. They're extra sails used to help the ship gain speed when there's very little wind. We ain't used them. I'll give them to you. But first, I need something done.
What exactly are you talking about?
Someone's been sneaking around my workbench. The key to the weapons cache was in a different drawer than usual.
So I checked the cache and discovered I am missing a 51 Colt Navy.
If the captain finds out, we'll all be held responsible. So we need to find that thing before he gets wind of it.
Why do I have to do this? Why aren't you going after the culprit yourself?
You think I got nothing better? Let me tell you something, Rensburg. I'm too busy right now, so I really need someone else to fix this. Now, go and find out who stole that thing, will you? And be careful what you ask people. We don't want to cause a panic now, do we?
You could expect to find something as random as a drawer full of door handles from time to time. It was a workshop, after all. The shelf contained many bottles of medicine, most of which were completely useless, since they had been bought by superstitious sailors for non-existent ailments. All the soap in the world can't get the briny smell of the sea out of a sailor's socks, let alone the other pungent odors.
Rensburg, what are you doing up here? Shouldn't you be getting those sills?
I have one question, sir. I'd like to know how the crew protect themselves in case of an emergency. Are we allowed to carry a gun?
Well, on most ships in the Merchant Navy, all officers are allowed to carry firearms. But I don't want that on my ship, so I asked Boatswain Haywood to keep them safe and sound inside the workshop. Whenever there is an emergency, the rules change, and the crew can bear arms, but that rarely ever happens. For as long as I have been captain on this ship, I have never carried a gun, simply because I've never needed to. But you should hurry up now, and get those studding sails from the boatswain.
The lifeboats of the Herald.
I don't see any sails, Rensburg.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm suspicious about Ian. I don't believe he's sick.
He probably isn't. He's just being a pubescent boy, like always. Children his age can be very stubborn. He'll grow out of it.
You're probably right, sir.
Growing up, the boy was often difficult to handle. Why do you think he's here in the first place? It was his mother, Mary, who asked me to take him in as my protege. I care about Mary and her family, so I couldn't refuse. But now, I regret that I didn't. I tried to reason with Ian, tried to convince him that I only want to protect him from harm. He just doesn't believe me.
He sounds like a difficult person. Do you think Ian would steal if he got the chance?
What? I don't want you to judge him like that. He's a rascal, but not a criminal. Now get back to work. We're still waiting for you to bring up those sails.
A brass sign forbade.
You had to see your face.
That's not funny, my dear.
Sorry, Uncle. I won't laugh.
What are you looking at? Leave us.
The captain's cabin was...
Came to tell me off too?
How are you feeling now, Ian?
Fine. Just let me be, will ya? I just needed some fresh air.
I don't know what's going on, but I sense you need help. Is there anything I could do for you?
Stop with the fake concerns. Who are you anyway? Did Brunswick send you to talk me around?
I'm Devon Rensburg. I'm new. Last night, when I entered the forecastle, I heard two people fighting. It was you and Officer Brunswick. What was going on in there, Ian?
I told him the truth. That I've had enough of him and his weird requests. He is everywhere I go. Around every corner and in every room. I'm sick of the man. His presence alone drives me completely insane.
What weird requests? Like, really weird?
Well, on some nights, he wants me to come to his cabin. And when I do, he'll ask me to sit on the side of his bed. Then, he takes out a notebook, one that he hides for fear of others reading it. And then he forces me to listen to him reciting his corny poetry.
So, you said he hid his notebook. Do you know if he hides other things too?
Brunswick often hides his most prized possessions, like his compass, the one that he got as a present from his own mentor, Francis Beaufort. He gave me the thing as a present, but I refused. Next thing I know, it's on my pillow with a wee note telling me to be more grateful.
Alright, that does sound a bit creepy. But there's no proof other than him being nice to you.
I'm sure there's more. Maybe he's written his secrets in his notebook. You should go to his cabin and search his bookcase. If there's anything he's hiding, it'll be there.
The entire bookcase was devoted to poetry. I was surprised to find Brunswick's spyglass. On the top shelf stood a portrait of a stern. A small collection of astronomy books betrayed Brunswick's I had dumped my own luggage above my bed. It was a huge chest, but there was barely anything in it. Most books I found in the crew quarters were racy accounts of comical adventures, so it was quite surprising. Boxes big and small. I was quite surprised to It was a peculiar place for a sink. A loose wallboard was cleverly hidden behind a couple of books. Behind the loose wallboard was a cleverly hidden compartment containing a single booklet. It seemed to be Brunswick's journal. Brunswick seemed to like writing rather cheesy poetry. It was Officer Brunswick's journal. Brunswick wrote about Ian in his journal. He seemed to wonder why Ian was often angry and agitated, and he was also particularly saddened by him breaking his compass. There was a poem and something about calculations on the page. Brunswick's last entry told about a hole in the wall behind one of the paintings. The paintings seemed to have been moved recently. Behind it was a small gap between the planks.
What's that? Is there someone spying on me?
You stole the gun!
Devon, are you snooping around? I didn't expect you to be that kind of person.
Look, Ludlow, we really need to talk. Can I come in?
Well, all right. Just be quiet, and I'll unlock the door for you.
Before you start, please, listen to me, Devon. I know it's against the captain's rules and all, but some rules are there to be broken.
Are you willing to explain to me what's wrong? You seem troubled.
I'm fine, don't worry. I wasn't secretly plotting to go on a killing spree tonight. But you never know. I might change my mind.
May I ask you why you locked yourself in your cabin with a gun? I hope you were not trying to...
I'm not suicidal. It's not fair, Devon. I know the Merchant Navy Handbook from cover to cover. It clearly says that every officer is allowed to bear arms. Every officer, Devon. I'm an officer, so why don't I get to exercise my rights aboard the Herald?
Have you asked the captain why he banned guns?
Supposedly something about old and outdated policies. But honestly, Devon, I don't really care about the gun. I just want the captain to know that if Brunswick gives up his rights, it doesn't automatically mean that I'll give up mine as well. For some reason, I'm always expected to do as the white man does. I'm never trusted to make my own decisions. Sometimes I feel like I'm an officer in nothing but name.
You won't achieve any recognition by breaking the captain's rules. If an officer wants respect, he has to deserve it. I won't tell anybody you took the gun, but only if you return it to the weapons cache. If you do, then do it now, before the shift changes and everyone wakes up.
Ha! Caught you red-handed. Good job, Rensburg.
How dare you barge in here?
Didn't your mother teach you that stealing is wrong?
Stealing? I am exercising my rights as an officer. Now get out of my cabin.
You really think that those fancy clothes give you any rights? Now, act like you're supposed to and give that back.
Calm down, Haywood. I think it's all just a misunderstanding.
What does he need a gun for, Rensburg? It'll make people uneasy seeing him brandishing that thing.
Before I became part of this crew, I was always allowed to carry a firearm. I just don't see why I can't have one now.
I don't believe you. You're up to something. I just know it.
No, I'm not. You have to believe me. I just want to feel safe.
Ain't there other ways to protect yourself? A real man can always count on his fists.
Well, I know my way with a knife, but I don't have anything other than the cutlery from the galley to work with.
You've been sneaking around in the galley too now, have you? The nerve.
Give the gun back, Ludlow. It's not yours.
It's none of your or Haywood's business. I'm keeping it, and we'll see what happens from there. Tell the captain if you want to. I don't care.
Fine, keep the darn thing. But I'll be laughing when your back gets whipped. You come with me, Rensburg. It's time we got those sails to the captain.
Thanks for helping me yesterday.
It was the only right thing to do.
If you say so. I am not someone to hold a grudge. You know, I don't even need to have a weapon with me all the time. Just knowing that I can get it from my cabin whenever I want makes me feel safer. Would you like one of Undra's butterscotch treats? They're the captain's favorite.
No, thanks.
You're lost, Devon. Then you'll have to watch me indulge myself in all the buttery goodness.
Everybody has been calling me Rensburg all the time. How come you're the only one that calls me Devon?
I thought you'd never ask. I need allies, Devon, and friends can provide a kind of protection that a weapon never will. Back in the capital, I picked you, and believe me, that wasn't without reason.
Care to tell me what the reason is?
The captain thinks I don't know, or that's what I hope I've led him to believe. But I read his newspaper the moment I got my hands on it. Here, take a look. Without indigo to trade, the reason for our voyage has become a mystery to me.
What are you thinking?
I'm worried, Devon. There seems to be more to the Herald than meets the eye. What's going on down there?
Don't come any closer! I'll jump! I will! Just get away!
What happened? What did you do?
It was his hand that guided me. But now I need to finish it. I must.
I know life can be hard, Ian, but please don't jump. It's not worth it.
I can't live on this ship anymore. I need to get away. Somehow.
You're a smart boy, Ian. Confused, but smart. Don't prove them right by doing something as stupid as this.
But this is the only way. I've been shown this is the only way.
Ian, think about it. Maybe think of all this as a test to overcome your fears and look them right in the eye instead of running away.
You mean it's... Oh Lord, what have I done?
I had saved Ian from making another mistake. But none of the crew cared for the cabin boy's fate. They were all too busy tending to the esteemed navigator, who was bleeding out on the deck below us.